great to have you with us. Now, they embarked on separate journeys through Libya with the hope of making it to Europe to seek pastures green. But it all didn't go according to plan, as hundreds of Ghanaians are reportedly subjected to inhumane treatment and torture at the hands of some Libyans. Over 160 of them detained in Libya were expected back home after government facilitated their release from the Libyan authorities. Joy News' Komla Adom was at the Kotoka International Airport, where some 127 of them touched down last night and came through with this report.
Imprisoned for 5 to 6 months under very inhumane conditions and tortured in the search for pastures green. For many of these returnees, it's a story of a failed journey through a supposed easy route to Europe with no documentation. So we're here at the Kotoka International Airport, the domestic arrival terminal, where some 127 Ghanaian migrants who were detained in Libya have been repatriated, and in collaboration with the International Organization for Migration and many government agencies, these individuals are being escorted out of the premises, and they are going to be dropped off at the various bus terminals, I'm told, at Seko, where they will be moving on to their various homes or where they came from. We are told that they've been given some amount of money to transport them from here to their destinations, and after they have gone to their destinations, there's a plan, according to the International Organization for Migration, to reintegrate these people, most of them who are very vulnerable, back into the society. 28-year-old Ansa was on his way to Italy through the Mediterranean when he was arrested and subjected to months of torture.
I
was headed for Morocco but got stuck up in Libya, so I decided to travel to Italy. I was arrested on the sea. From that point on, what was the treatment? Then I had a year more.
After please 6 months, I'm on back with deport. No, I'm saying yes, I call by before. And so I'm anti and I'm indigenous. My brepa,
we were maltreated. Some of our colleagues were sold.
And I'm
yet to say, not a phobia, Ghana phobia, not yet Tom as slaves.
Yeah, Tom, or Motom, or Boom. Except for Baby Tranqui, Ghana for the Africa blacks for the Juma Muya and Omutiko Tom be at $300.
Some of our colleagues were sold as cheap as $3,000.
When ya Babusa Nipi Wuru, a dozen Munyanka.
Daniel is 26. He was pressured by the unemployment situation in Ghana to stow away. He is uncertain about getting his life back.
Libya akwento no ayedin ene Libya sitting ayedin akolaketi otumitwi etu ewo so oje won se ka oje wo phone oje bibia omutumi di etu okwa ebobo etumi bosi prison na bia ye nenam won se ye nenam safari desert so na omututu etu ne ade na manfo ba ye dan ya me asese ya me adoma ye be share wa.
Youth are unemployed here. That's why many of them embark on some of these trips. But since we've been deported, we need jobs. We need yet to say some of your colleagues, Ghanaians, no, they were auctioned, not as slaves. Do you know about that?
Yeah, it's true. Say, and the question on Moton, who could get to one of Nawodeka or Moboton, Ama Obi. No Moton, so I say be a bet in a one of Mr. Omobo, Pa, Obey Jim, or Munjaka, or Mobabo, or Mabahao, or maybe to me, I say, well, life, or maybe Crow to me shooting in 9.
What is the plan for you? What do you look forward to doing? Do you have a job? Do you have a family that you are going back to at the moment?
Like the beginning, I learned mason from school, and even I learned it from the house. So I would like to join my master so that we work together.
But these are the lucky ones. Some have not lived to see this day. Some were tortured to death. For those
Libya, watching what's in the UN. If you or UN, Libya.
I was really tortured. I have been hardened by this experience.
Libya, what the actual bomb,
The point I saw some of my colleagues being shot in the leg, it was a truly terrible experience.
Second, hi.
I was cut with a knife.
Libyans, no chum second.
Beyond the very disheartening experiences lies a bigger need: how to get reintegrated back into society and reunite with their families. We will be speaking in a very short while to Country Director for the International Organization for Migration, who has been coordinating this process so far since we came here. She has been coordinating the process. She has been seeing to the smooth running of the process, getting the migrants from the tarmac, getting them onto the arrival units where they are getting fed and getting nourished before they are transported from here to the various coaching terminals in Accra to transport them onward to their various locations. Here is Country Director for the International Organization for Migration in Ghana, Sylvia Lopez Ikra.
They're very relieved to be back in Ghana. You could see, despite the fact that they're extremely tired, some of them are malnourished, some of them are sick, they were extremely happy to be home. And the priority for us now is to make sure that they reach their homes safely in a dignified manner, and that we work with them to ensure their reintegration into their communities.
Okay, from here, what is the plan? Where are they being taken to? And beyond now, what is the plan for them? As you mentioned, the reintegration process, what's it going to be like?
So some of them are very vulnerable, and these ones, they deserve priority treatment in terms of receiving psychosocial support, health treatment, direct assistance. So when they have arrived, all of them have been registered with IOM, and they have received cash on arrival so that they can cater for their immediate needs. We are also organizing transportation to the main coach stations in Accra, so that for those that are not staying in Accra, which is the case for a lot of them, they have the means to go back to their community of origin. And from there, after they have time to rest and recuperate, they will be in contact with IOM so that we discuss on a case by case basis what is the best way forward for them.
Can you give us the numbers? There are 168, we are told.
So 127 people have come.
They've been rescued. They've been deported. Even though they are grateful the torture is over, they are singing one chorus, appealing for better livelihoods, appealing for jobs.
I never go to the university, but I go to my university in Libya. Oh, they're supposed to, if you come, they're supposed to give us soldier clothes, because we pass soldier, Allah. We waiting, we see. No be anybody go see him. You understand me? You understand? So I learned a lot of things. The time that I did in this Ghana, if I work get 1 million for today, I'll spend all of it. You understand? But now, if I get 1 city, and if I work get 1 city, I will eat 50 pesos, remain 50 pesos. You understand? So that everything will go down. You understand? Then they're supposed to do something for us.
What kind of help do you need at this point? That you are back in Ghana, you are going to be reunited with your family. What kind of help specifically do you need?
You understand? The time I did in this Ghana, I work like tomatoes box. You know that tomato box that they used to take it to Burkina Faso. That's what. Yeah. If I work it, then I sell some. You understand? I'll go and buy it, then I sell it. You understand? That what? If I get money now, I reach Ghana, I can start my business. My eyes will not see some one thing, then I'll take it. You understand? You understand me? But now they say you should take out our hand like this. Go. This small money that they give us is how much? 4.4. Yeah. 4. But this clothes I cannot take it to home. It's shame. You understand? It's shame.
So from the Kotoka International Airport here in Accra, I am Komla. Adam reporting for Joy News.
Definitely some harrowing accounts there. Now, a recent undercover report by CNN has sparked a global outrage about what many believe is modern-day slavery. The video of migrants being auctioned for a few hundreds of dollars for many is unacceptable centuries after slave trade was abolished. The subject has dominated a conference of African and EU leaders taking place in the Ivorian city of Abidjan, attended by President Akufo-Addo. Joy News is, however, learning it isn't always the case that the people being sold as seen in the CNN footage are being given away into bondage. In an interview, Idris, a survivor of the Libyan detention camp, explains how he paid a price tag of 700 denarii to secure his freedom. He adds that in many instances, migrants in captivity simply want their freedom so they could continue their journey to greener pastures in Europe. Idris granted this interview in 2015, well before the recent revelation by CNN.
Normal. But we went in the Hilux, but we were arrested along the route and sold to some Arabs. They put us in the prison and demanded we pay 700 dinars. But I saw many Ghanaians there. Many of those who could not pay for their freedom died. Most of them were from Nkoranza. I spent 2 weeks in the detention center. We had to buy our own food. We were allowed to eat once a day.
Like boss maybe decided okay. One day meet me and I am for that matter no. Who comes and some Makako pay deserts also.
And the Usi coins or no when you embark on the journey, you will learn the rudiments. Your habits will change. You cannot be sure if the money you have can take you to the end of the journey. Everything is management. There is time to drink water and time to eat gari. Sometimes while on the journey, the driver will not allow you to drink water or eat till evening. Starving is normal. I was arrested at Malaga. I spent about 1 week at the ghetto. I was owing the equivalent of 4,700 cedis. My two friends here paid for my freedom. You are like a cocaine for the Arabs. They can arrest you and sell you anytime.
Now, Joy News is by no means suggesting that the so-called slave trade does not exist. Indeed, in one other interview, another survivor narrates how he was acquired by someone who expected that he would work to redeem the price at which he was bought. He's also called Idris.
No. You cannot just walk around unless you pay for your freedom. You cannot celebrate Eid or say your prayers. It's all work. You serve your master through mixing mortar, carrying concrete and water. The money in Libya is good, and you are compelled to stay away from womanizing. And you don't buy food. Sometimes, when you finish working, they refuse to pay you and taunt you that you are not a Libyan.
But I want to know, you went through all this pain and challenges, but when you will go back?
Yes.
Now, Idris's interview and a similar account shared by at least one other survivor raises questions about whether the trade in Libya could all be described as slavery or it could be something else. Wednesday on Joy News Prime, Ejolai had a conversation with the project officer for the International Organization for Migration Ghana, Kojo Wilmot.
Some anecdotal evidence that we have, through our work received over the years does point to the fact that yes, there are seemingly some elements of slavery that is ongoing, as well as other inhumane treatment that is meted out to nationals from sub-Saharan Africa. And this is what we are working on to ensure that we sensitize people on the dangers of such perilous journeys and the need for them to travel safe. We are part of the UN family, and so we work with governments all over the world as we speak. Nationals from all countries within the sub-Saharan African countries, we are supporting them to evacuate their nationals who are stranded, because our primary objective is to ensure that, one, we save migrants' lives and also protect their rights so that their rights are not abused. We have so far, as an IOM mission from April, assisted around 244 Ghanaian nationals to return home voluntarily through our organized chartered flights activities. And I am sure as the situation escalates, there will be more of these flights that will be arranged to help return our nationals from Libya who are stranded in Libya in a safe, humane, and orderly way. This situation we have highlighted over the years. IOM has been assisting stranded Ghanaian migrants to return home voluntarily over the years. We continue to highlight the risks and dangers that are associated with irregular migration, especially what is happening in Libya now, since it's a volatile situation. So then, yes, this CNN footage has helped bring other governments' attention on this issue. And this is the way to go. We, as the International Organization for Migration, cannot just manage this phenomena alone. We need everybody. We need governments. We need civil society organizations. We need everyone on board to ensure that we help save migrants' lives.
Now, the government of Ghana is assisting Ghanaians caught up in the situation in Libya. Here's Foreign Affairs Minister Shirley Ayoko-Botwe with details.
We've been making our checks and investigating to find out whether the Ghanaians who are part of, who are victims of this slave trade. And it is through the investigation that we found these 168 Ghanaians in detention centers. They are not, or they have not been victims of the slave trade, but rather they have been put in detention awaiting deportation because they were found to be illegal.
What's the Foreign Ministry going to do to ensure that Ghanaian citizens don't become victims of this horrifying slave trade? Any plans, anything that's been activated, anything being implemented by your ministry to protect the Ghanaians?
Well, yes, that's exactly what I mentioned in the press statement we issued yesterday, that we are now having to open a consulate in Libya. In times past, when Libya worked, we had a full embassy there. Many countries closed down and left. But we are having to open a consulate, and we are in the process of doing so.
Now, the migrant situation was one of the major matters touched as the EU-AU summit on Wednesday. Addressing the leaders, EU President Donald Tusk called for common solutions to tackle the menace.
The common duty is to step up the fight against these unscrupulous criminals and bring them to justice. The above remarks also apply to the current situation in Libya, which needs from our side, both European and African, our help, not our condemnation. Migration is a long-term issue for us both, internally within Africa, which is hugely significant, and from Africa to Europe. We must identify common ground that will enable us to cooperate more concretely and more effectively. Our initiatives to create jobs opportunities and perspectives for youth are part of this. The EU is ready to do more, and I suggest that we seek a common understanding to do something positive for our youth. The European External Investment Plan will be a great opportunity for this. The EU also launched the Emergency Trust Fund for Africa in 2015, which we will top up in time for 2018.
This is Joy News Desk. Stay with us.